After I was acquitted, I was overjoyed. I was happy. I felt like the jury got it right. I even got a message from one of the people that didn't get picked saying that, hey, I don't know you, but I went home and I looked up your story and I knew that they were trying to set you up. You know, and that really like made me feel like there are good people out there, but
yes,
my mental health it got worse because yes, I'm happy, I'm jubilant, but I now have a target on my back because when does every day a black man beats the state of Florida at their own game? And people would tell me all the time, Marlowe, I'm worried about you, that you beat them, maybe they might come back worse and try, if they can lie on you again, they can lie on you again.
And you haven't moved.
Haven't moved.
But you still have concerns when it's taking your kids to the park. And
or to the doctor.
Tell me about that.
My daughter's doctor's office is not far from around the corner here, and every time I take her to her checkup or pediatrician, there's a new Port Richey police cruiser that within 5 minutes of me pulling up is magically in the parking lot next door. And I know for a fact that they do follow and surveil us because through other public records requests, I have a picture of the chief of police riding by a colleague of mine's house, taking pictures of her house.
Oh, pictures is a whole new thing.
Taking pictures, sending it to the city manager, and the city manager responding with who that person was.
And that's interesting because we noticed before we came in here when we first parked, you were like, there's the cruiser.
There's the cruiser. You're going to always see, if I'm in this town, you're going to see 1, 2, maybe 3. I will be surveilled. This is why I don't feel safe. I don't come here if I'm not with a bunch of people.
You don't feel that, and let me just do devil's advocate, you don't feel that that's just normal policing where they're...
No. Normal policing is getting out, talking to people, being in community, maybe driving by, but when they're constantly
it's
driving
happened
by,
too often for you to think
too,
it's a coincidence.
Way too often. Pulled over way too often. Oh, your tag light's out, or we haven't got your registration yet, or it's just something to get me out of the car. I was so worried when I was out on bond imagine being out on bond for almost 2 years.
And you can't get in trouble.
No, you can't, or you go sit in there.
Yeah.
I was pulled over maybe 4 or 5 times during that.
Wow, how scared you were during those.
Oh, every time. Panic attack. You know, I've recently, since I was acquitted, I got with a therapist who's been helping me. And, you know, I was diagnosed with PTSD and depression and anxiety. And I lost a little bit of my zest for life. I was a very outgoing, happy person. And now I'm more of I wouldn't say paranoid, but I'm very cautious.
Cautious, that's what I was thinking,
you know,
yeah.
It's like, I don't know, sometimes I had to take medicine because I've had nightmares of being shot and killed by the new Port Richey police. Like, I remember having a nightmare, I was in the hospital running up the stairs, and like I was being shot.
I'm so sorry. This is...
Yeah.
It shows you what happens from experiences and how trauma causes so many mental health issues, whether you need counseling or you need medication, etc.
Yeah.
Let me talk about your hopes and dreams. Let's try to shed that off, and let's talk about what are you looking forward to in the future, whether it's through advocacy, your family, like what's your next, now that you're free, you're acquitted.
Yeah, I want it. You know, that's a good question because the day after I got locked up, the next day we were out on the streets protesting. It got bigger. People came out and supported me 150%. I was out the next day. Right after jail, I was out here protesting and marching. But now, so many people had called me over the years, and I have lost so many people personally. My bail bondsman, who was my cousin, passed away of COVID. My mentor, Bill, who helped me get a lot of information, he died of cancer. My old campaign manager, Kim Fleming, died of COVID. So I had lost a lot of people. I was very depressed and sad, but I look into my daughter's eyes, they're growing, and I'm happy that I get to spend time with them. I get to, because when I was going through that, I couldn't really spend much time with them because I was afraid to go home sometimes because I would be followed by people and stuff like that.
And your daughter now just lost her second front tooth, you were saying?
Just lost her second front tooth, and now she wants to get in gymnastics, and I want to get her into something like that. But those are the things I enjoy now as being a father and being able to experience those moments with my children that I missed out on. But also, a lot of people said, Marlowe, I hope this doesn't deter you to stop being a leader in your community, because a lot of people look up to you. And because I thought about giving it all up and getting out. But then I said, was that what Martin would have done, or Booker T, or W.G. Du Bois, or Malcolm X? Would they have just walked away? I said, my family's been here for a century. I have to do something. I have to leave my mark and inspire that next generation of young leaders. So I decided to still be an activist, and then I recently graduated to become an organizer. And that's what I've been doing since then. I've been organizing, working with a wonderful organization, Faith in Florida, doing some amazing things in my community and other communities, working around criminal justice and gun violence and democracy. That's my passion. And I think for the rest of my days, a civil rights activist and inspiring hope and change will be my calling.
I love the end of this, especially because unlike others that had been activists in previous years, you have like this second opportunity to make it happen.
Yeah.
You didn't die.
Yeah.
You're still alive.
Still alive.
What an opportunity. And I'm so looking forward to hearing what you have to come in the future.
Yeah, when you say that, you make me think about what my spiritual leader said to me, Bishop Matheny from Eastlake Church of God in Christ. He said, Marlowe, you went through the fire. They made you go through the fire. But he said, you know what? In order for gold to be pure, it has to go through the fire. He said, you went through the fire, and now you came out pure gold. You went through the fire, and now you came out pure gold. So be humble and be happy. But just remember, you went through it, and it's made you a better person. And it has, I'm still humble. I mean, I still go to city council meetings. I'm still active. Even though these people scare the hell out of me sometimes, I still know that my job is not done. One day I will be the city manager or the mayor or the city council member or inspire the next group of Gen Zs to do it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This has been an amazing interview.
Yes,
I look forward to working with you. You now have a civil case against.
Yes, the city of Port Richey. I have a civil case that is currently pending right now. And with all glory be to God, that will be our second phase of justice to close out this chapter in my life, which has caused me so much pain and sorrow.